So I need fire. We're going up to 9. Taking over now. No, I've switched it off. Game over. Hey guys, welcome back to the School of Wok. I am not Jeremy, it's a takeover. So I'm Shelina Permalloo. You would have seen me here on the last video, which was bullet susu, a beautiful bouncy Mauritian dumpling. And I'm staying in the island of Mauritius. It is the food that I'm passionate about. And I want to show you how to make a magic bowl. We call it bol reversé, which means upside down bowl. So the beauty of this dish is the preparation. And actually a lot of Chinese Mauritian cooking is all about the prep. Once you get the prep done, the actual cooking is pretty quick. So I'm using some spring onions. And with this recipe, I just like to use spring onions because they're sweeter and they cook quicker as well. So I'm just going to take a small amount of the ends off and I'm just going to chop them slightly on a slant. And I'm going to be using the white ends for the first bit of cooking. And then to finish, I'm going to use the green tips, okay? So just get the whites, which I'll cook with. And that will be the sort of onion part at the beginning. We've moved to the real deal, okay? Because I'm now in School of Wok. This is my initiation. So I've got the cleaver. So this in Creole we're saying big kutu, okay? Big chopper. So what I'm going to do is just chop the kind of green. And then I'm probably going to use about half of this. And that's going to be for my finish. So just chop that up. I'm just going to use a side plate and just get everything sort of ready. So I know that I'm all prepared. Mauritian cuisine is a beautiful melting pot. It is in Africa. It's a small island in Africa in the Indian Ocean. And our sister islands are Rodrigues, Reunion, and then further up is the Seychelles. And it's absolutely gorgeous. But we are a complete mix of Indian, African, French, Chinese. And the food is influenced by all of that. And so here you're going to think, oh, where does this dish come from? Well, there are Chinese influences in this dish, but I have never actually found a magic bowl anywhere else in the world. There is a nasi goreng, which we know, which has a fried egg on top. But this particular mixture of this almost chop suey base with the white rice and the fried egg, please, if anyone does know, can you comment below? Because honestly, I am convinced it is only Mauritian. So we're now gonna move on to the garlic. I'm just gonna chop that up finely. You can grate this actually, it's nice and easy to grate, but this cleaver is making very light work of all of that for me. So just pop that there. With our ginger, all I'm gonna do is just take about that much, and I'm gonna keep the skin on and just bash. And all that does is it smashes it up slightly, and then I'm gonna chop it. And that just means that I don't need to julienne, so just chop through it. So I'm gonna pop that straight on there as well. And then we're going to be using pak choi and carrot. The pak choi I'm simply just going to chop into these kind of pieces, quite thick, quite chunky. You want to taste all that vegetable. So that goes on there as well. So the carrot, the way that we do it is we just finely, really quite thin, about that. So it cooks all at the same time. The whole point about this is it's high speed cooking. And once everything's in the pan, you just want to make sure that it all cooks quickly. Okay, so we've got the carrots chopped lovely and fine, so they cook all at the same time. In all honesty, whilst you can use these vegetables, you can also use leftover veg. And I find that this is a really good way of using up what's left over in the fridge. The half a pepper, the half a cabbage, you know, the quarter of the carrot that your child didn't eat. Shove it all in, that is perfect. So that's my veg prep done, and that is key to this dish, getting all your prep done. So I'm going to be using chicken and prawns in this dish, and that is quite typical, and it adds such a delicious flavour, but you can just keep chicken if you want. Typically I would use chicken thigh because it's got more flavour, and you know the richness of the darker meat works really, really well. Here I'm using chicken breast, and so all I'm going to do is just sliver that, and then I'm going to chop them in half. There's a whole mixture of flavours going on here, and you're not relying on just loads of protein. So, you know, this one chicken breast actually goes really far. So it's great for feeding a family. So just chop those up, pop those straight back in. And then with the prawns, I'm just gonna chop them in half, okay? And that just lets it stretch even further. So just in half. And the way that I do that is you just press down on the prawn with your hand, grab your knife, and gently let the knife do the work. And that will give you 2 equal pieces. And again, it's another trick for making food stretch, and especially at the moment when things are so expensive. So that is all done. So I'm using either a rapeseed oil, you can use any other seed oil, you can use a light olive oil as well, that works, but just to avoid strong flavored oils. So garlic, ginger goes straight in. And then remember the white tips of the spring onions, and we're just gonna fry them until fragrant, literally 1 minute. Just mix that around. And what I do like to do is right at the beginning, I'm just gonna take a little bit of salt and just add a little bit of salt just to help release some of that water from the spring onions. And that already smells amazing, and we've done nothing. So I literally don't want to overcook this because it's going to continue to cook with everything else. So straight in with the chicken, that goes in. And as soon as the chicken's in, you want to now go in with your soy sauce, oyster sauce, white pepper. So I would normally put fish sauce in this recipe, but as you can tell by now, I'm a mum on a mission, and my mission is to make sure I use everything in my cupboard. So I'm actually using some of the leftover shrimp water here, and that was in the boulet susu video, which you'll be able to click on in the last video. So I'm gonna add that in as well, and that's gonna add a really rich fishy flavor, and that's gonna be really complementary to that lovely prawn that's gonna be added in. I wanna dry this out, and that intensifies all of that flavor. You can see there's a lot of liquid, and we don't actually want that at the moment. We want it later, but just not at this moment in time. The chicken is practically cooked. Can you see like how quickly it takes to cook chicken? And I know a lot of people are scared to undercook chicken, but the minute you overcook it, it's joyless. And I just want to reduce that by about half. You can almost hear it change in the way that it cooks. You can tell that that sauce is thickened. At this stage, we're going to go in with our carrots and the cabbage, the pak choi. And I'm just going to hold back those spring onions. So at this point, we do want to start to thicken the sauce and make sure we've got all the flavors right. So I've made a cornflour slurry, which is essentially cornflour mixed with water. And what that's going to do is create a lovely glossy sauce, and that's going to coat all of that wonderful veg, chicken and prawns that are sitting in the bowl. That goes in. So a nice high heat, and that's going to come together very, very quickly. And you can see everything is glossy, it's thick. So at this point, I want to loosen it with some water. And now is where you get all the flavor in that you need. So it's a great time to taste it. The chicken is cooked at this point, and all we're doing is now just waiting for that veg to just be slightly al dente. Oh, that's nice. It needs more oyster sauce. So I'm going to add the rest of the oyster sauce in. And then I'm going to add in some of the fish sauce just for that saltiness. So the last thing to add in now is our prawns and our spring onions, the green parts. And you know what I'm going to do? Switching the heat off, okay? This may sound bonkers because the prawns have just gone in, but the residual heat of that wok is going to cook those beautiful prawns. Remember, I sliced them in half as well? So let that do its thing, okay? So I'm just going to cover that, and we're just going to leave that. Okay, now we're on to the frying of the egg, which seems easy, but it's not. And when I run my restaurant called Leka's Mama down in Southampton, I had it for 8 years, and this is one of our most popular dishes on the menu. But can you imagine, in the heat of service, you've got like 25 tickets on the pass, and they're all magic bowl, and you need a perfectly sunny side up fried egg. And this is the finishing part of the recipe. So we've got some basmati rice that's already been cooked. You can use day-old rice as well, which is lovely and easy. We've got that wonderful magic bowl sauce, almost like a chop suey. That's good to go. And then this is like the last reveal. And I love this part. This is where everything comes together. Egg in, okay? This is quick. So now I'm gonna add in some white pepper over the top, a little bit of salt, and it doesn't take long at all. The only thing I wanna do is just baste it. So the bottom is set, we're ready. And this is just gonna baste the top. We want it to be sunny side up, but we want it to be cooked enough so that the egg white is all cooked all the way through. That's it. Heat off. We're gonna add chives to the bottom. These are straight from Jeremy's garden, and they smell fresh and delicious. And this is the magic of the magic bowl. use the spoon, pick that up. Can you see how much oil's left in the pan? It hasn't made the egg soggy, but it is beautiful. Can you see it's so delicate? We're gonna flip it yolk side down, okay? And that's important. Now, over here to our lovely sauce. And in that time, as this has just been sitting there, those prawns have curled up perfectly. Can you see? Cooked all the way through. Absolutely delicious. So what we're now gonna do is we're gonna layer. So, chicken and prawn with all those carrots, a pak choi. We're gonna grab our rice, bring that over, and we're just gonna pack that over the top. And you wanna make sure this is quite tight. With your clean hand, you're just gonna press that down all the way. Take our plate, like this, and then, you know, in whatever religion you follow, or no religion, say a little prayer, good little bang. You don't want the egg to be stuck, because sometimes it actually does stick, and that is a challenge. And here we go. Are we ready? This is Mauritian bon reversé. Oh, the pride and joy of this Mauritian delicacy. Right, this is a monster portion of Magic Bowl, and I have to get Jeremy in to try it. Jeremy, come in, please.
I'm chuffed, Shelina, because you're the first guest chef that's asked me back in.
Oh, I need you. I did tell you in the last one, I'm a bit of a people pleaser.
I'm going to go
So I love watching people eat. So I need to see this.
I love this, yeah. You know, I'm a sucker for a crispy fried egg on top of anything.
So we will have a thing called a garlic water. We have our piment crasé. So we would normally have other things that complement this dish as well. But on its own, there's some good quality things happening.
It's a Mauritian surf and turf, isn't it?
You just ruined it for us.
No, I love that. It's so interesting, isn't it? Because it's a combination of, as you say, of different cultures that have sort of brought a dish like this together. Both dishes, to be honest, have just made me want to come to Mauritius. So yeah, you've done your job.
So you're not taking that shirt off now, are you?
No. I feel like I should wear this shirt every day, just to channel my island
vibes.
Yeah.
If you guys want to make this dish at home, follow the recipe, follow the tips and tricks,
Don't forget to subscribe.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to buy Shelina's amazing book.
What to cook when everyone's hungry? Yeah. Absolutely, and subscribe to my channel as well.